तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्निश्च गुरुः परं दैवतम् गुरुः परं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव 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 सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव।
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Continuing where we left off yesterday, let us see. I had a few, before we get to the other questions which are yet to be unanswered, I wanted to share a few more thoughts about that Rama Sita question. You see, the Ramayana is allegorical, as much as it may be a story or a historical mythology, whatever it is. To us, it doesn't matter because it has a lot of allegorical material to be looked at in terms of human growth, in terms of spiritual evolution. Rama is nothing other than the self. Because Rama means, if you look at the etymological derivation, ramyate, ramyante, yasmin yoginah, that in which all the jnanis, yogis revel. So if the jnanis are reveling in it, that means something wonderful. What is that? It must be something joyful, because you can't revel, logically speaking, in something that makes you sad. There is no revelry in that. So you want to get away from it. So it must be something happy, and it is you. That is what it is. It is the self. So the self is the subject matter of revelry. That's one thing. And so that which the jnanis do. So this is what jnanis, the people who know the self, revel in the self as the truth of themselves, meaning that self which is already contented, already non-wanting, already free, which we know. I mean, all you have to do is go to sleep. Not right now, but when when you sleep, you know this, because you have no wants in sleep. You are so contented in sleep. That's why one is loath to get up, and one is very upset when one cannot sleep very well. So that same thing is true in the waking state as well. But in the waking state, the mind is crowded by all kinds of raga and dvesha, wants and don't wants, agenda, fears, and all kinds of difficulties. And so, therefore, that becomes an impediment to connecting to and living the I that is naturally contented, naturally happy. And this is what is the bread and butter of Vedanta Shastra. So the Ramayana plugs into this very well, as so many songs composed have shown. And so Rama is the I, and then the Sita is self-knowledge. Rama is the contented I, and Sita is the self-knowledge actually not self-knowledge, but the result of self-knowledge, which is Shanti, peace. Peace means contentment. Peace means I don't want anything. And so that is basically what it is, what is Sita is. And so the Ramayana shows what happens to the Jiva, here Rama himself, embodied by Rama himself, when Sita is abducted, hijacked, stolen away from him. What happens? What happens to this individual devoid of Shanti? Devoid of Shanti, the individual cannot live, cannot survive. There is nothing there, is panicked. Just like Rama hugging, he was the first tree hugger in history, I like to say, because he was hugging every tree and asking, have you seen my Sita? Have you seen my Sita? And so this is the thing. And then the Shanti was disrupted. And what is the cause of the disruption of Shanti? The desire for the illusory golden deer. Is there such a thing as golden deer? Of course not. Do you know that there is a golden deer? We all know there is no such thing as golden deer. And if you look at the story, Sita was a very level-headed lady, and she was not shown to be someone who just went on a path of whimsy. But again, here she says, "Oh, I'd like to have this as a pet." And so that was and running after the deer, the jiva, embodied by Rama, loses Shanti, loses contentment. And of course, Sita is, and then we have, what is that? We have, there are ways to read it. And then, there is that Lakshmana also left, and Lakshmana drew a line, and that line, represents a kind of a discipline in life. Here are my value systems, and here is what I have, for me, that these are my boundaries, and this is where I end and the world of desires begin, and I'm not going to cross over. That is the idea. But cross she did, because she was tricked. And why was she tricked? Because her mind was in a vulnerable state. She was worried about both these people not there, and all these things. And so the jiva, Sita also, in this sense, is the jiva here, who crosses, because of the force of illusion, delusion, and desire, crosses the boundary that she has set for herself, and then finds herself abducted by a 10-headed demon. 10-headed demon. No, one-headed demon is itself scary. 10 heads. 10 heads means full of desire. So desire, she's abducted by an embodiment of desire, and desire leads to indecision. Absolutely. That is where all these FOMO comes from. FOMO means fear of missing out. Like, if I have this, I'm missing out on that. If I choose that, then I'm missing out on this. And if I have both of them, then somehow, if I manage to catch hold of these two options, then I'm missing out on the third one. So like this, this is the reason why this FOMO and all these things exist. That fear of making the wrong decision, indecision, and being overwhelmed by desire definitely belong together. And so the 10-headed demon separates the jiva, the quintessential jiva, embodied by the figure of Rama, the one who is wanting to be connected to himself, because Sita is not separate from him. Sita represents the phala, jnana phalam, the phala of self-knowledge. And she has been abducted or separated from him. And then how to get her back? That is the thing. How to get her back? She's gone. She's gone means she is he, and she is an intrinsic part of he. You can't even call part, because this what we are talking of is partless. And so she belongs to him, and she is always with him, but somehow she is as though separated. And that, as though separated, that loss of Shanti has to be as though reunited. How? There should be a leap of faith embodied by Hanuman, Hanumanji's leap onto the ocean. The ocean which is the ocean of delusion. The ocean is Maya. Maya again means Avarna here, are the Shaktis of Avarna, and Vikshepa is Maya. And so the ocean of delusion, it's huge. And then it's got all kinds of its own ecosystem. It's got all kinds of demons inside. The one that rose and said, "You belong in my mouth. Why are you crossing? You had promised me in your last life you will enter my mouth." And like this, there was an impediment while he was in the mid leap. Hanumanji is leaping and he sees Lanka there, but then he has to go through this demoness's mouth. Then, so like this, Hanumanji represents bhakti. And the leap represents Shraddha, faith. Faith, not just empty faith, faith pending understanding. Yes, this Shanti can be got back. This Shanti can be definitely there for me. In fact, it belongs to me, it is mine alone, and I can retrieve it back without any effort at all. So, and so endowed with this Shraddha, the leap, the Hanuman, the devotional person. So, Hanuman is nothing but Rama's devotion, the Jiva's devotion. So, devotion makes a leap of faith and goes to the inimical territory, which is full of squalor and which is full of decadence. When he goes there, he finds the whole thing in disarray. First, he goes to the palace thinking the Shanti is in the palace. Sita, in the form of Shanti, is in the palace. He goes to the palace, and there is just scenes of debauchery. The Ramayana describes all this. People just have, drunk too much and vomited on themselves, and then they are just lying in various states of undress, not even aware of their own bodies, half asleep. No, we can't even call it asleep, in a stupor. Look, is there Sita? Is there my Sita? No Sita there. No Sita there. And but he has faith because he's not even seen Sita, but he knows, okay, this is something important I have to do. And so where is Sita? In a tranquil garden. The garden of no sorrow, Ashokavana. That is where Sita is. Sita, contentment. Sita, the fruit of self knowledge. Sita, fearlessness. Sita, limitlessness. Sita, Satchidanandam Brahma. She is unsullied, unaffected by all this debauchery, is not participating in anything like that. Not at all. She is unaffected. So that contentment, that contented I is unaffected by any indulgence, really. Any indulgence, any conflict, any strife, any fear, it is there. It has to be recognized through knowledge. It has to be recognized. And then, of course, then there is an army of devotees bringing back this seed and repatriating, that repatriation of the lost jiva, Rama, who can't even think straight without Sita, is together with Sita. Now, why will he banish her? How can he banish her? She cannot be banished. And so, obviously, the Uttara Ramayana is somebody's imagination. And because those times were very patriarchal, then they, cooked up this story. You should listen to the bhajan by Avadhuta Yogi Sadashiva Brahmendra. Very beautiful. Khelati mama hridaye Rama. Rama, that which is called Rama, plays in my heart. Khelati mama hridaye Ramah Khelati mama hridaye. Shanti videha sutta sahachari. Who is this Sita? Videha Sutta, the daughter of Videha, called Vaidehi. Vaidehi also means the she who is without a body. She cannot be objectified. She is Satchidanandam Brahma. She is you. She is that. She is Shanti. And then what is Ayodhya? That inassailable place within the heart. Daharayodhya Nagara Vihari. This Rama who plays in this in the space of the heart which is unassailable. Ayodhya, which is inconquerable by the desires. And then the one who crossed, one who makes us cross, this Rama, the Lord who plays in my heart, that unassailable part of myself in the form of Bhagavan, who is me, makes me cross the ocean of sorrow and delusion. Mohamahar And then Ravana is Ragadvesha embodied. Ragadvesha Mukhasura Mari. Khelati mama hridaye. Ramaha Khelati mama hridaye. This is the truth of Ramayana. And and then Paramahamsa Samrajyodhari. So this is Rama is the king, and Rama Rajya was noted for a very contented and just period in ancient India's history, they say. But then, what is this Rama Rajya? It is Samrajya Swarajya. Swarajya means the kingdom of my heart. I rule the kingdom of my heart justly and compassionately. So that is the thing. Paramahamsa Samrajyodhari. Satya Jnana Nanda Shariri, whose body is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. That is what it is. And that is the one who plays in my heart. Khelati Mama Hridaye. Very beautiful. This is how, we have a choice. We can either go and take the Ramayana and Mahabharata, all these things literally, or we can take it metaphorically, allegorically. Here is, of course, much more, we are much more blessed when we do that. Okay. Yeah. Then, let's see. There's a question about Shvetashvatara Upanishad, verse 4, which is very esoteric and specific. But here, that is the question, describing some three margas, the knowledge and karma knowledge and all these kinds of things. So here, the analogy of Brahma Chakra is given, and my mind kept on picturing the Sri Chakra. Would this be a correct correlation, or am I way off? I don't think it's an exact correlation, because the Sri Chakra is from has got Puranic, it's from the Puranas, it's from the Tantric and Puranic, it has got antecedents. It is not Upanishadic. It is not from the Shruti, the original Shruti. It is more Smarta, from the Smritis. The Sri Chakra is there. The sacred, what's its name? The sacred kind of geometry. Sacred geometry in the form of something to fixate the mind on, to fix the mind on. And just like somebody said yesterday, I pay much better attention, someone said, if I'm doodling as I listen to you. So here there is a purposeful doodling involved. There is, you're asked to draw an intricate thing which is loaded with certain kind of a intentionality, where each line, each corner is loaded with an intentionality to fix the mind. and to do that. So this is the way. It is a kind of a upasana, a writing upasana, a drawing upasana. बिंदु त्रिकोण वसुकोण दशार युग्मा मन्वश्रण मन्वश्र नागदल संयुत षोडशारं वृत्तित्रयञ्च भूमिः सदनत्रयञ्च श्रीश्चक्रमेतदुदितं परदेवतायाः. This is the instructions on how to draw it, and that instruction is also in the form of a verse that can be memorized. So you have like 9 interlocking triangles, and to remember which one. So 5 of them are downward facing, which one is upward facing, 4 of them are upward facing, and they have to be interlocking in these ways. You can't just draw and make it some kind of an abstract thing. I mean, you can, but then it won't be Sri Chakra. Sri Chakra means it has to follow a certain thing. And by that time, if the mind is wandering, it will definitely stop wandering, because it will be focused on which line. And more than pencil, the eraser is very important, because when you try to draw it, definitely the triangles will be gone, and then it'll look wrong. It's very interesting, especially if you have seen it, and and even if you've not seen it, you'll know when it is wrong. And therefore, as important as the pencil is, the eraser is equally important. You better have an eraser, and you keep rubbing out the lines and everything. And then sometimes you rub through the paper. You'll need another sheet of paper. Don't feel bad. Try it again. Okay. So this is what it is. There are complete instructions on how to do that. It is a upasana, and when it is drawn properly, it pleases the heart. There is a sense of balance. There is absolute balance, and in that balance there is some kind of there is a resonance with the desire for a harmony within. So it's like a sacred geometry. It's very, very intricate. So that is what the Sri Chakra is. And it is a harmony because the certain triangles are seen as Shakti, certain triangles are seen. This is how it is loaded. It is loaded because this triangle is Shakti, this triangle is Shiva. Shiva means the masculine principle, Shakti is the feminine principle, and so the two principles there, it's like that yin yang drawing. Again, when you see that, you feel very happy. The mind calms down when you see certain things. And so this is something you can draw yourself. In fact, I will, if people are interested, I can share a document after the satsang on the chat pod, how to draw it. If you want, you can do that and practice it. And this is one more upaya, remedy for the wandering mind, which people, 2 or 3 questions were there yesterday. So that is the significance of the Sri Chakra. That is the reason why such yantras. It's called yantra, sacred geometry. And then after you draw it, you put it on the altar and you worship it. Why? Because it is something you have made. It is just wonderful. You put an altar. So usually an altar is something you just get from somewhere, and it is other than you, and it's hard to relate to. But here you yourself has conjured it up according to how it should be done, and then there is a dot in the middle, and that dot is the focus of the meditation. Even as you draw it, the meditation is not afterwards sitting and gazing on it, although you're welcome to do that. The meditation is as much in the production as in the worship afterwards. So that is the idea. So this is the meaning and the significance of the Sri Chakra. And to the best of my knowledge, it is not mentioned in the Upanishads. It is more of a tantra, like Mahanirvana tantra and other tantras. They have things about this. The yantra. It comes in the agamas. Agamas means the part of the tantras. There is a whole tantric tradition, very powerful tantric tradition in India and ancient India, and so it belongs to that tradition, the same tradition with which the temples are consecrated and everything, and so the same kind of this That is what Sri Chakra is. Okay, then here is a little bit of a serious question. Somebody close to the person committed suicide, a 13-year-old child, boy, and it was difficult to understand why a mere kid would take his own life. I found myself very angry, but did not know where to place my anger. I was not sure who I was angry at. Was it the society, the school, the home, etc.? It took me a while to reconcile with this tragedy. I felt it showed me my own hurts and pains. Is anger a valid reaction? Of course, it's a valid reaction because it is there. It is happening. It has to be embraced. How does one even begin to console the parents in such a situation? How does one understand such an act of tragedy? Yeah, difficult, very difficult. And these days, as I was saying in a different context, people are crazy. The society is just under a lot of duress. Sometimes we've heard of people committing suicide and live streaming their suicide. This is a cry for help. Other people are watching somebody commit suicide on YouTube, and after that they have to do on Twitter, on this media, and they're live streaming this suicide, and then everybody has to be in a frenzy, and then take those videos down so that nobody sees it. But then by that time the damage is already done, and the sheer helplessness and the hopelessness of it. Because what can you do? There is a so especially when it's young people, there is this feeling in our heart, which is, for the most part, born by experience, that this is not an age to die. This is not an age to go, especially if it is self done. It's not, the tragedy is even worse. It's not an age to go. And for the parents, they don't expect, generally parents don't expect to predecease, so for the child to predecease them. They don't expect that. So that's why it's extremely painful. Very, 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 very painful. So hard to accept. So difficult. And and then not only the sorrow, but there'll be a lot of guilt. What did we do wrong? Why did we do this? How did this happen? So it's very difficult. And yes, and even though you are not the parent of this child, you got very angry at the system. Why does this system produce these kinds of emotions where and there is no help for this child who's obviously hurting? Perhaps the child was bullied in school, or perhaps there was some other reason, we don't know. But this is what it is. And but you are very much in touch with your emotions. You acknowledge that you are angry, and yes, anger is valid because there is helplessness, there is fear, and there is the injustice of all. And so those are three emotions which are primed for anger, definitely. So there is these are the three, not emotions, these are the background which is primed for the emotion of anger to arise, because there is sheer helplessness. Who do you get angry at really, and where do you place it? You have been very forthright in and understanding in this matter, and it takes time. Time heals first of all, and then and then we need education. We need basically things we don't have. We need more resources which we think we don't have. We need more hotlines which are not there, and we need more what should I say, transparent conversations, and ability to have these conversations around mental health. Definitely emotional health, mental health. Definitely. Everybody, not just people who are thinking of ending their lives, alas, not just for them, for everybody. We don't need to get to that place, no, to do that. And so therefore, this is, as you have pointed out, not just an individual problem, but a systemic problem. There are no easy answers. And where to channel the anger. Some way to channel the pain and anger is to see what you can do about it. Is there something you can do? Can you start something? Can you educate people from whatever knowledge you have? Can you do more research? And will that kind of a contributing help you in addition to helping others? This is some ways of purposefully or very easily channeling the anger, the resentment, the difficulties. And for the parents, the parents want the child to live on, even though they know that the child is no longer there. So they want that legacy and the memory of the child to not go at all. So they can start some, if they have some means, or they can raise the means, so they can start some kind of a scholarship or a fund to help other children named after their child. After, of course, they'll definitely need some therapeutic help and all that. So that all that all has to be managed. But in the long term, a resolution to this might be that they start some kind of a prize, even if it's not a big fund. Maybe they're not very rich, but some kind of an annual prize. Maybe their child was good at drawing. Maybe the child was good at something, some subject in school. So, acknowledging other children annually, one or two children, giving a couple of prizes. It's not about the amount, but it's that legacy. So that will help to for them to see and feel that the child lives on, in a very concrete way, and the prize can be named after the child, and so that way the child lives on, and so they can look at that same quality which they are giving the prizes for in other children, and their child lives on not only in the form of the prize but in the form of other children who are good at the same thing that their child was. So that is one way to help that. This one I've already, please share strategies to bring the mind back to the present moment. Yeah, this we have seen yesterday. Then next one, yeah, Shraddha Karma. Okay. So here is a kind of a question. I really love my mom for everything that she was, but she is no more. And if she doesn't have any relation to me, gross body, subtle body, etc., or recognize me or care for me, then why should I do the annual Shraddha Karma, the ancestral karma? And what would happen to the karma phala? And what will happen if we don't do Shraddha Karma? Because the next generation of children do not believe in all these things. Yes, first of all, it is belief based. You are right, it is belief based. We don't know where the mother is. We don't know if even the karmas are reaching her or not. We don't know. It is based, that's why it's called Shraddha. You know, it is born of Shraddha. Shraddhayaha bhavam shraddham. It's born of Shraddha, faith. Here, at least in Vedanta, Shraddha means faith pending understanding. Here, there is no understanding. There is only pure faith. It's just purely, sheerly, totally belief based. Completely belief based. No other thing except belief. And so you have a choice to believe or not to believe. You are free. But if it is a belief, then the non belief of it is also a belief. You see, that you have to recognize, which is very interesting and which is forgotten. So, supposing you say, I don't believe that the ancestors are there in some kind of an afterlife and then awaiting their karmas, awaiting to be reincarnated again or whatever it is, and so I don't believe it. If you say you don't believe it, that's a belief. The non belief is a belief. So, either way, it's a belief, either way, it's non verifiable. That is also there. So you cannot prove why you don't believe it, and the people who believe it cannot prove why they believe it. Both ways, it is a belief. Okay. And then, so now, what is the belief here? The belief is that you don't know where the ancestral, where the ancestors are, you don't. They could be in a cushy bungalow somewhere in the afterlife, enjoying peeled grapes being fed to them by other jivas with less good karma. Who knows? They might be in a very nice place, enjoying foot massages and sleeping on a down mattress. Who knows? Not down. What is that thing where you put the hand and the imprint of the hand remains? Memory for mattress. Yeah. Meaning, even though your memory is gone, the mattress is better at remembering your contours than yourself. That is the idea. So maybe the ancestors are like that. Who knows? Or the ancestors might be not in such a good place. They were supposed to get a promotion to Pitraloka, the place of ancestors. But then they got stuck somewhere, like says Trishanku on the way. Maybe they are saying, I just need a little, I ran out of gas. The gas here is good karma, okay? So I ran out of gas. I need a little more push. So if the situation is the former situation, you have nothing to worry. In fact, you say, "Hey, mom, dad, whoever you are praying to, bless me. You are in a wonderful place. Come on, share some blessing. Give a thought to me." And that's why we have the altar of ancestors too. We have all the people that have gone right next to our altar because we see them as manifestations of Bhagavan with the capacity to bless. We give them that status, whether they have it or not. We give them that status. So, but supposing the ancestor is in a difficult situation, what do you do? So, as a person here, you cannot send a what should I say? You cannot send Venmo or what is that other thing? That Western Union. It cannot go. You cannot do. You cannot send money on your phone. You cannot do any such thing. So, what do? All you can do is some action. So you do tarpana. You make rice and till balls and with ghee and all that, and you say it is an offering. And then you give it to the animals to eat. Crows, birds, animals, you let them have it. Tarpana. You offer them a karma with an intention that may the fruits of my, this is good karma. Why? Because, literally speaking, you're feeding the animals. It is bhuta daya. It is good karma. So the results of good karma are not for me later on to have a mango banana smoothie somewhere. No, the results of this good karma, may it go to the mother, grandmother, grandfather, whoever it is. Father, may it go. And if they are stuck in a certain place, maybe they are praying, Beta, my child, just push me through. So their good karma they have run out of. They have expended it on various things, perhaps, And then so your good karma gives them the little push to get into that bungalow with the memory foam mattress and many bedrooms. That is the idea. That is the imagination. Pure sheer belief. Sheer belief. It's not that you want to get something out of them. They have given everything. They gave you this body which you are still enjoying. Come on, what more do they need to give? Oh, they were bad parents. Let them have been bad. Let them have been the worst parents in the world. Let them have been the parents which get the worst parent award. Okay. Every year, let them have been such parents that they could have won the worst parent award every single year. But they gave you something. Even in the non-giving of the love, they have given you this body, they have given you lessons, they have allowed you to grow even through the pain. There has been growth. In fact, because of the pain, you have grown. This is something not, it requires a lot of emotional maturity to understand. This is the meaning of the Sanskrit, mantra in the Upanishads. Matrudevo bhava, pitrudevo bhava. Be the one unto whom the mother is an incarnation of God, is was, or the father is an incarnation, is was of Bhagavan. It's not that you deify the parents. No, you do not deify them. But what you do is you understand the truth of your parentage and understand, and you're able to see beyond the parents causing something. You're able to see a world beyond that. You're able to see the hand of an unseen, unknown force that we call Ishvara. That has enabled you to have this parentage. You make peace not with the parents, but with the fact that this was your background. You make peace with the background, then you automatically are peaceful with the parents. So this is what it takes. This is what it is. And so the Shraddha, what is the Karma Phala? The Karma Phala is you feel useful. You feel like you have contributed something. You grow. You grow, and each time you remember. Every year we have 15 days for this ancestral festival, ancestral memories, and ancestral offerings. So 15 days out of every year. In fact, it used to be a month, but then it was reduced to 15 days by the adage paksho vai masaha. 15 days, let it be a month for certain things. It was said in the Dharma Shastra. And so 15 days you are in prayer. You reflect on your background. You reflect on all these things. So therefore, this is the Shraddha Karma. So if the children don't believe, it's okay. That's all right. It's not a big deal. Again, it's a choice not to believe. Not believing is also a belief because it cannot be proved either way. So this is the thing. Then there is part B. Our ancestors don't have any relation to us. That I don't know. Everything is connected. You are connected to every single thing in this universe. You are connected to a star somewhere. You are connected. It's all one huge, unfathomable universe. You are connected to the ocean. You are connected to the moon. That's why when the moon wanes and waxes, it affects the mind. So how can you not be connected to the ancestors, especially those people you were very close to? So it's not that the connection stops. The physical connection may stop. You can't give them a hug. Yes, that is not there. But of course you are connected. They are there because nothing comes to an end. They are there. Either they are reincarnated and then you may meet them in some other way. Sometimes we have the belief that they come back as children, as grandchildren. And so this is what they say. That is the belief. And sometimes they say, oh, this is little grandfather and this baby frowns just like the grandfather. We say these things. So either they are reincarnated, which we don't have proof for, or they are in some ancestral realm. So they are connected to you. They are related to you. How would our karma reach them? Because they are related. Yeah, that punya, the dana, anything that you give, you have to dedicate the karma to them. It's a belief. So you dedicate the karma. Okay, I don't want a cushy life as a result of this giving. After a person has passed away, there is some dana. There is giving, the donations given, and so let it go to helping them in whichever realm they are. So you give some of your good karma. That is what Shraddha is. Okay. Yeah. Then let's see what else is there. What else is left? This is a very nice one. I'm rubbing my hands in glee. Many times there are conflicting. Conflicting is appropriately put within quotes. Conflicting events at the same time, such as family gathering and Vedanta classes. So, what to do? How to choose? Okay. If going to class feels more enjoyable, then maybe the right thing to do is to spend time with the family. That is your notion, okay, your conclusion. But let us look at why you say this. How to choose between what to do according to dharma only. You see, here there is Vishesha dharma, not Samanya dharma. Samanya dharma means that aspect of dharma that is universal. Universal dharma are do's and don'ts. So, Vishesha dharma, what is appropriate at a particular time? What is appropriate? What is that which is needing to be done? And Swadharma, what is it that I have to do? What is correct for me? This something may be correct for the whole world, but it's not correct for you. If you say I am on the track to become a Swami, I'm a Brahmachari, I'm a novitiate, and I want to work towards a life of celibacy and being contented with myself. So for such a person who has made that vow and that decision, for that person marriage is not appropriate. But there is nothing wrong with marriage. That person also can decide to marry, but first they have to undecide this and then decide that. That is what it is. So, all these dharmas intersect in a certain way. So you have to see what the correct thing to do is. Classes will always be more enjoyable. Why? Because nobody wants anything out of you during the classes. Yeah, you don't have to do anything, and you are being given an autobiography each time. The Upanishad is the autobiography of yourself that you want to listen to. So the classes are like a audio video book that is unfolding the truth of yourself, which is very enjoyable, which is wonderful. That is what it is. And compare that to a family gathering. Why didn't you come last time? What happened? Why are you like this? And then all these things, the pecking order. Are you the eldest? Are you the middle? Are you the youngest? And how to behave and how not to behave and who is going to be ticked off? And there's always a crazy uncle. And then, you have to avoid. And, this is the family dynamics where your ragadveshas are up and waving to everybody else, and everybody else's wants and agenda for you are waving back at you. Naturally, it's very tempting to go sit in a room with your laptop and attend the Vedanta class. Definitely, yes. But thankfully, we have YouTube. This is all being on YouTube. So that's why it's called YouTube, means it is for you. When? Later on. So later on, go and watch. No, I like to watch things live. Too bad. Either get some more people to watch, or you be, so usually when this conflict comes, when that decision has not been made. If you have the guts, if you have the courage to say, I am going to sit in the room and I am going to do this, no matter what you think, no matter what you say, no matter what, what kind of acerbic reactions and scoldings, etc., and cold shouldering that may happen later, even at the risk of losing all of you. I love my Vedanta class. Bye bye, everybody. Nice to see you all. Don't come into this room. And I have put a do not disturb sign. Go ahead. You have the blessings of Bhagavan to do this. You don't need anybody's permission to do this. Oh, but what will happen at the next party, or it'll be so unpleasant. And I'm a person who is conflict averse. This is, I don't like to rub people the wrong way. Isn't there a nicer compromise? Yeah, there is. YouTube. Yeah, go afterwards and listen, and do the little what should I say, do the little dance, do the little family dance. Keep going like this, and keep going back and forth, and keep saying, no, 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 you first, pehle aap. And even though you want to be first, you keep saying you first. Do all that, do all the roles, fulfill the roles of the downtrodden one, fulfill the role of the doormat, fulfill the role of the aggressive person, fulfill the role of everything. Yeah, do that. No, but then Vedanta class, I don't want to do that. And then so, you have to decide. So it's really not about the gathering. It's easy to blame the gathering. It's easy to blame the family people. It's I'm not saying blame yourself, but look into yourself. There's nothing to blame here. It's easy to point the finger and say, because of this, I'm not able to attend Vedanta class, or because of this, I'm conflicted in my pursuit. You're not conflicted because of something else. The conflict is within. Here is the battlefield, the Kurukshetra, that Lord Krishna talks about in the Bhagavad Gita. Right here is the battlefield between what I want to do and what I want to do is to not rock the boat. But what needs to be done, what my heart really desires, is to go on this path of knowledge. It is a quintessential conflict. You're not the only one having this. Even Arjuna, 5,000 years ago, this was his problem. This was his problem. That is why we are studying the Bhagavad Gita. All these obligations and everything. I know this wonderful saint, very nice person. She's out in Dehradun near Rishikesh. She has a small ashram. And she was the student of Swami Akhandanandaji, very, a great, highly regarded saint and jnani. And she was married with two small children. And then one day, she just understood that all this is very impermanent, and she just walked out. She just walked out. Just like the Buddha walked out, leaving his sleeping wife and an infant son. Walked out. She also did the same thing. But a man doing it and a woman doing it are seen in completely different ways. Pujya Swamiji recognized her knowledge, and whenever she came to our ashram, he would give her his seat and ask her to teach from that podium that he himself taught. And he would not only that, he would sit and listen to her, even though his Hindi was, he was from South India. As he would say, how is your Hindi, Swamiji? If people asked him, he would say, Hindi kabhi kabhi aati hai, kabhi kabhi aata hai. Sometimes using the wrong gender. For Hindi is feminine, but he would say Hindi and use the masculine this thing. Hindi sometimes she comes, sometimes he comes. He would say. But still he would sit and listen to her because she was so articulate. It was clear that she was just dripping with this knowledge of the Upanishads. And then he also asked her to lead a satsang. He also came to the satsang. We were all sitting. And it was amazing to me. This lady, this wonderful speaker, this wonderful Vedantin, she had so much to offer. Whenever she came, she had so much knowledge, so much profundity, so much depth. And in the satsang, the questions were all about how could you leave your children? How could you leave your husband? And she said something very nice. She said, I left my husband, I left whatever I left, she said, 50 years ago, 30 years ago. You are still catching hold of the people you don't even know. That's what she said to that man. And very hostile questions, very hostile questioners. It's just like that. Why did Rama banish Sita? That kind, no, not the question, but the belief that Rama banished Sita. It's that same kind of a mindset. That same kind of a mindset. And so, therefore, that kind of a gumption, that kind of a resolve, it should be celebrated. It should not be derided. But it is often derided. And we as sadhakas, we as people on this path must be ready and willing to embrace the derision and grow as a result of it. When we are able to do this, we are looking at quickening our growth. And that is what it takes, really. It takes being immune, becoming immune, having a thick skin. But the thick skin doesn't come. It is a cultivated art. The thick skin comes from our own inner resolution. That inner Kurukshetra is resolved. So really speaking, there is no conflict. And since everything is Brahman, when you are around family, it is Brahman. It is a complaining Brahman. It's a contented Brahman. It's a crotchety Brahman. It's an ordinary Brahman. It's a Brahman with a lot of agenda. It's a manipulative Brahman. So it is Brahman alone. And all these other things are swallowed up in the wake of this knowledge. And ideally speaking, one becomes like Pujya Swamiji, completely immune to any kind of derision and reprimand because one is sure of oneself. Okay, yeah. Then there is one more. What is the meaning of sadhu? I think I've answered that. This is what is sadhu, sannyasi. It's not somebody who wears orange. I love it. I didn't even see that question till now. It just got answered. Bhagavan answered it. This is what the Parakaryan sadhnoti iti sadhu. The uh, one who lives for others. But you see, you can live for others in a dysfunctional way, in a way that is erasing yourself because of some fear and pain from the childhood, because you have been brought up to live for others. No. Here, you genuinely live for others because there is no you, which is there is no you that is wanting, there is no wanting you. There is no you that is wanting something to be fulfilled. And so your life hasn't ended. So what are you going to do? You become a magnet for other people's desires. It's not that you dysfunctionally and out of some pressure want to resolve other people's desires. No, it just happens. You are in a place to connect, you connect somebody with somebody. You are in a place to just pray for them, you pray for them. It just happens. So that is what it is. And sannyasi again means that samyak nyasah means giving up with a deliberate intention for self growth. You give up all the things which you rely on as emotional props. It's not about the things. When the things become emotional props, we don't have a vow of poverty. That's not what the vow is. It's a vow of ahimsa. There's only one vow. I'm not going to harm anything, any living thing in the world. There is no vow of poverty as is there in the Christian tradition. And so that means you can own many things, but you don't possess any of them. There's a very big difference. You can, I think you understand. Then, uh, finally, is there such things not to be born again when the person, if the person lives up to, yeah, let me see what this exactly is saying. If a person lives up to 97,100 years, then can all the karma be exhausted? First of all, why you want to live to 97,100 years? It's a world you won't even recognize, and nobody will recognize you. You will be talking about your iPad, thinking you're very modern, and then and then we'll be in an age 97,100 years hence where people telecommunicate. Okay, yeah. They will not even know the meaning of email. Okay, so you will be in a different yoga. And so, even if you live for that number of years, karmas will not get exhausted. The point is not to exhaust the karma. Karmas won't get exhausted for two reasons. One is, yesterday I told you, karma is that which is inexhaustible. Inexhaustible is karma. Because it is not really there. It is mithya. It is so you transcend karma through knowledge by falsifying the notion that I am an agent of action and the results of action accrue to me. You falsify that. You falsify that notion that you are the agent, you are the doer, and other half of the times you are done in by other people's doings or your own doings. Neither is true. Those are all superimpositions upon that I, which is free, as those superimpositions upon that I, which is free of being karta and bhokta. Neither the doer nor the done in I am. So where is the karma? Karma gone. Karma, you have made korma out of karma and you have eaten it up. Nothing. It's gone. It's gone. Because it's like a dead person's bank account. Somebody dies and the bank account is there. Let's say they have not left a will, they have died intestate. And so then what? To whom does that money belong? That's what it is. So here the person has woken up to a different reality. It's like, you let's say you have you have some money. Where? Dream money. Okay. And then you have some dream credit card debts. Then you wake up. Then what do you have? You can't. You have neither the credits nor the debts, because that was then, this is now. So, in the wake of this knowledge, the notion I'm the doer drops, and along with that drops all the karma. This we have to understand. And so, you don't need to live for 97,000 years. In this life itself, in the next 97 minutes, you have to understand this, and then you're free. The other reason karma is inexhaustible is because you're not just exhausting karma in a human body, you're also accruing karma. You follow your desire, more karma you're accruing. So karma becomes a noose around the neck without self-knowledge. Right? Yeah. I think that concludes the question, that you are asking such deep and wonderful questions. ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.